And a good Tuesday, everybody. Welcome in. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Tuesday. We're live at Tennessee Brew Works today. Love being out here. Second week in a row. Big Joe's here. I'm here. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier is setting up a matchup between the Titans and the Commodores. And he thinks the Commodores would win. Love you, Nick. No, Nick is back at the studio. Good discussion with Jake this morning, but we're excited to be out here at Tennessee Brew Works today.
It's beautiful. The food's excellent. The people here are great. I mean, it is a fun time to be here. Good evening, good morning. How are you? Good to see you. But it was a not late night, early morning for a lot of you guys. Put it that way.
Oh, yeah. With the World Series.
18, doubleheader.
Yeah. Let's play two.
Yeah. What time did it end? I went to bed about 11:30. Actually, folks, I actually watched baseball last night. Thanks.
I think it was close to like 2, but I was gone. I was passed out at that point.
Can I ask you a question?
You just did.
Who let Freddie Freeman walk from the Atlanta Braves?
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Do we have to do this? Basically, it was the agent, and he fired his agent after that. But the agent wanted to get the best offer, and
okay, I get that.
But Atlanta gave him a really good offer. It was just one less year. I think he was actually going to make more money, in Atlanta as opposed to LA because of all the taxes and stuff.
Okay.
And supposedly the report was that the last offer that Atlanta gave, the agent never told Freddie about it. And so he ended up signing with the Dodgers. And then when he found that out, I mean, it was like, wait a minute.
Does this agent work for the Dodgers now?
I
Or
don't
is
know.
he somehow employed by them?
I don't know. But I think he ultimately wanted to stay in Atlanta.
I saw a stat. I don't like stats, but I saw a stat. He is now 7 postseason home runs, and it's somewhere like he's in a category with guys that played like 40, 50, 60 years ago, like Reggie Jackson and like guys in postseason home run wise who have stepped up and done that. So good, good for a guy, Mookie Betts. He's 2 wins away from yet another World Series, and good for them. But my goodness, that was a late night.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, if you were there, I've bought a World Series ticket before for the Braves. I'm not leaving.
No.
Now, staying up watching when you don't have – like, if the Braves had been in it, I'd been up watching it.
Sure. Well, which leads into our question of the day, obviously. Have you ever left a game early and regretted it? Have you ever left a game early and regretted it? One of my dear friends left that Monday Night Football game between the Buccaneers and Peyton Manning and the Colts. Remember that game?
Yep.
Down 28-3 in the fourth, and then Manning came back and won that game. They all left that game at the beginning of the fourth quarter. He's like, to my day, that is my greatest regret in life is leaving a sport. Look, you paid the money, you're there. Why leave? Like I've stayed through. Well, I had to work through Titans games, but Preds games when I go as a fan, I'm not leaving. I mean, I'm there. I paid the money, the parking. Just enjoy what goes on. Remember the last game the Preds played before COVID in February of 20?
No,
they won with 0.2 on the board.
Oh yeah.
So they were down and people were leaving that, and the Preds scored 0.2. It was an amazing game. The excitement was unbelievable. People are like, oh, I shouldn't have left. You're already there. Don't leave the game.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's nothing really major that I have left and regretted it. I think there was a Preds game that they were down like by 2 or 3 goals, and they came back and won. And I was like, well, I kind of wish I'd seen that, but it was like a random regular season game or something.
All right, Dr. Crane, you remember what happened Saturday between your Bulldogs and Texas?
Absolutely.
I don't know if people left, but that's a game. You're down by 17. You've been playing terrible all day. I'm sure there were Texas fans who said, you know what, we're done with this, and they left. And look what happened, right?
Hey, I flipped the channel for about 10 minutes just to check on the Vandy game. And I turn it back. I'm like, what happened?
You wanted to scout them for their game against the Titans.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's exactly.
You know
it.
I'm not going to let this go, right?
I don't care. Yeah.
It's out of love.
I mean,
but
I appreciate it. I'm gonna die on that hill. I still think
that's fine.
Eli Stowers can take Jalen Armour Davis to the cleaners.
Well, I think we could. Look, when you turned that game, was it 38-21?
It was, yep.
And then when you came back, what was the score?
38-all.
I'm sorry, man. I was listening to the radio. I was screaming too because they had him beat. But that's an example of leaving games early when you shouldn't. And so we had the discussion before about the Music City Miracle. We had people calling, I watched that game on the bridge, and we looked up that the bridge wasn't there.
Yeah.
In January of 2000, there was no pedestrian bridge. But, I mean, there were people leaving that game early, and
the bridge was there, but you couldn't get on it.
Yeah, it was not a pedestrian
When it
bridge.
closed?
Yeah, it was not a pedestrian bridge at the time. And so people like, I was there watching the – no, you didn't.
And the gateway wasn't there yet, I don't think.
You didn't watch the game on the bridge. You did not. You had to go the other way.
I always joke about the Music City Miracle game that there were 400,000 people at Adelphia Coliseum.
At least that day. We got you, man. But I'm curious why you would leave a game. But if there's a game off the top of your head that you regret leaving early. And for me, I don't leave games early, so I don't have this problem. I got lucky.
Okay, wait. I will give you one.
Okay.
And it wasn't. If he's listening, he's going to probably dispute this. But so in 2014, I went to my first Daytona 500. We were down there. It was me, Darren McFarland, and Liz Allison, and we were covering the race. And we did a bunch of special shows. Like I got to meet Joe Gibbs and Bill Elliott. I mean, it was awesome. So the day of the race, 3 hours before they drop the green flag, it's beautiful. We're walking pit road. I get my picture taken by Dale Jr.'s car, and he had the car to beat. I'm like, he's going to win. He's going to win his second Daytona 500. This is going to happen. Well, 25, 30 laps in, here comes the rain. And I'm talking tornadoes, and I mean, it just bad. And so they delay the race. And, of course, I'm on team, we're going to wait this out. They got lights. And, I think Darren was being a little sensical in this because we did have a flight to catch the next day, relatively early. And he's like, dude, I mean, they're going to probably get this thing going at 8 o'clock tonight. And we were staying in Jacksonville.
How far the drive's that?
About 2 hours.
Okay.
So he's like, we got to go. We're going to have to go. And I'm bummed because, again, I know who's going to win.
Yeah.
My guy is going to win. And we have all the credentials. I could be in victory lane, all this stuff. But ultimately, he's right. So we leave. And I'm sitting in the hotel room in Jacksonville watching this race. And sure enough, Dale Jr. wins the race. And I'm just I'm happy because he won the race. But I'm like, man. And I just get a text I'm sorry.
Right.
But he was right. Ultimately, he was right. But so I guess that's probably the closest one.
Don't leave.
That I would have.
Just don't leave. You're already there. Just don't leave it.
I know, but there's sometimes especially with racing in the weather, if it. Nope. You kind of have to. If it had been just me, if I had not had anybody else, I would have figured it out. I would have been there.
Right, and it's always the argument of the parking, I can beat parking. You're there. Just stay there, and you never see what happens.
Yeah,
you lost that, man. I'm lucky. I've never left because I'm there. I'm going to stay and watch it to the end.
Nevada Josh. By the way, we haven't heard from you in a while. Thank you for texting in. Showtime. The big kids have shown up. That's right. I'm so tired today making my deliveries. That was one of the best MLB games I've ever seen. And I will say this, as much as it hurts because I miss Freddie Freeman with the Braves, I am happy for him. I'm happy for Mookie. I hate the Dodgers, but I love Mookie Betts and I love Freddie Freeman. And so I cheer for those guys.
You should cheer because it's America.
And it's America.
Cheer for Toronto.
I like them more than I do the Dodgers.
Then you move to Canada and you do the show on remote every day from up in Canada. And get money with the Prince and Queen on it.
And meet a meet a girl and just remind everybody that my girlfriend's Canadian?
You could do that.
I could do that.
It's all free for you, man.
Yeah. I'm good. I'll stay right here in Nashville.
Good old America. You
Good
get yourself a dual citizenship, like O'Berry Trotz.
Good.
Oh, they got a game tonight?
They do.
Who are they playing?
Tampa.
Oh, really?
Tampa Bay. Yeah, and it'll start at 6:45 because it's the Frozen Frenzy or whatever they're calling it for ESPN. So every team plays, and every team plays, so they're kind of staggered starts. So
Oh, that's cool.
so it's going to start 15 minutes early.
Okay. Stamkos with his buddies in town.
Yeah. So we'll see if the Preds can get a win there. 615-737-1025. Our question of the day presented by Aries Tactical. Your safety, your skill, your Aries Tactical. Check them out at ariestactical.com. And, of course, you can weigh in on our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com at 615-737-1025. We're live at Tennessee Brew Works today. We will get into the Titans, but coming up next, I saw this headline on an article, and it shows you what's wrong, right, indifferent with sports today. And I'll explain what I mean coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, live at Tennessee Brew Works, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Tuesday. We're at Tennessee Brew Works today. Got a nice little crowd in here for lunch. We both decided to be healthy and had chicken Caesar salad. It's very good.
Oh, it's excellent.
Very good.
Mine's already gone.
Our show presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel. So check this headline. So Brian Kelly joins the group of coaches that have been fired this season, which means they're going to get paid a lot of money to do nothing. Now, I saw a picture surface of Brian Kelly at like a Mexican restaurant in Baton Rouge, just kind of chilling and everything. $54 million is his buyout. That is the amount of money. That will bring the amount of money owed to FBS head coaches fired this season to $167.7 million.
So Franklin, Napier.
Well, here I got it all right.
Tell him. Let's hear it.
$21 million for Billy Napier. $15 million for Mike Gundy.
God.
$9.8 million for Sam Pittman. $6 million for Brent Pry, Virginia Tech.
Wow.
$5 million for Deshaun Foster. $4 million for Trent Bray. $2.4 million for your friend Trent Dilfer. And $1.5 million for Jay Norvell from Colorado State. The big ones. So I mentioned Kelly, $54 million. $49 million to James Franklin.
God almighty.
I mean, just unbelievable. It truly is the best job in the world.
What's the total again?
$167.7 million.
Yeah. So now the next coach is coming up. If you hire the young Jason McCabe out of Rayon City Community College, I ain't paying you that money. If I'm LSU,
Nope.
I got to pay this out. So you're not getting what you probably think you deserve because I owe these people that money. Now, is that going to take away from a coach who takes the next job? Possibly, but didn't the same AD hire Jimbo and Brian Kelly? I'm reading that. The same GM hired at A&M and LSU.
Well, here's the funny thing. So Kelly's buyout is the second largest because Jimbo is making $22 million more with $76 million. That's his buyout from Texas A&M.
That's crazy, but that's it. Man.
Both coaches were hired by current LSU athletic director Scott Woodward, who ran the Texas A&M athletic department from 2016 to 2019.
Woody, getting it done there, buddy. Well done on your end. I mean, that's just a tough job. And now you hire that football coach. You're praying that he is successful. You're praying like DeBoer. I mean, remember last year? I mean, the first game this year, it's kind of like, oh my God, he's terrible. You know, that AD's like, God, make it happen. And now they're the best team in football, I think, and it feels good. So you make that coach, you hire that coach, man, you're immediately on the clock.
Yep.
Immediately on the clock.
Well, and look, this now, I think these are the biggest jobs, but I mean, there will be like I think Kentucky's going to happen. I think Auburn's going to happen. Nebraska or not Nebraska, Wisconsin could happen.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's going to be others, but like LSU and Penn State, I think, are by far the biggest.
Well, I mean, Stoops' buyout is crazy in Kentucky, too, as well, because he's been there. He's the longest tenured coach in the SEC. He's been there 13 seasons. He got there in 2013, took over. So now, yeah, he's been there a while. But Kentucky fans, I mean, we work with the one in Connor. I mean, they're indifferent. It's like, it's football. Basketball, though, we're ready for basketball. I think Kentucky fans.
I think most Kentucky fans are ready for him to be gone.
They're indifferent. I mean, you know what you're going to get 7-8 wins a year. Maybe we're lucky you'll get 9, but it's basketball, and I understand that. Now, what Cignetti's done in Indiana is what in the world? I mean, he's got a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate. He's got a shot at winning the national championship. Something I never thought I'd sit on radio and say about Indiana, but they're doing it, and it can be done. But I think Kentucky fans are like, it's football. Give us our 7-8 wins. Kentucky fans, I love you. I just don't think you care about football that much.
I think Kentucky fans would love to see John Summerall come up there. But, you know, if let's say Lane Kiffin stays in Oxford, which he should.
Yes, right.
And doesn't go to LSU, I think LSU will heavily pursue John Summerall. to make the jump from Tulane to LSU.
He's good, man.
But I mean, your top candidate, like Kiffin's going to be up for everything until he's not. That's just the way it's going to be. John Summerall, I think Marcus Freeman his name's going to be floated out there, which is interesting because then what is Notre Dame? How is that viewed? Because that'd be a pretty good job, but
why would you leave that?
I would. Well,
that's why
Brian Kelly's regretting that
because they wanted him out of there, man.
Yeah.
Hit the road, pal.
Stay one step ahead of the jailer.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like Tyson Hilton in Western Kentucky has done a great job while he's been up there. Dan Mullen's one that get a phone call as well. That's going on there. What's the coach at Memphis? Yep. He should get one. I mean, he's done a great job down there.
You know what school I think would be a great fit for Dan Mullen if it came open? If Drinkwitz left Missouri.
Yeah.
Because that's a lower pressure SEC job. Now, I think Mullen's happy in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I mean,
saw him taking pictures before the game.
Yeah.
Like before the game, taking pictures with boosters and everybody. So I think he's happy there. And again, some of these coaches don't want the pressure. Just let me coach football.
Do you think Brent Key is going to get a bunch of looks, Georgia Tech's coach?
He
should.
Yeah, I absolutely should. He's a heck of a coach. They love him, but why? What else can you go? I mean, you've got it made there. You're turning that program around. Look, you look at Scott Frost going back home to Nebraska. It was a disaster. Sometimes, what does Bud Walter say all the time? Bloom where you are. What is the
make a difference where you are?
Make a difference where you are. So, is Brent Pry not making a difference where he is?
Yeah.
Kiffin, Drinkowitz. I mean, sometimes we get so just, they got to take this job and that job. Hey, man, what's wrong with where you are? And you're happy and you're making good money and you're running your program. Do you want to go to LSU for all that pressure? Well, they'll pay me $18 million. They ain't paying Jim Smith, beer delivery guy, $18 million to do that. So there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. Just be happy where you are.
But they're not.
I don't get it, man.
They're not. That's the problem. Let's go to the phones. Ryan wants to weigh in on this. Ryan, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
No, just chilling.
There has got to be an outrage from the parents to pay these tuition rates to the schools because they end up raising tuition, and it's the parents and the kids that have to pay for these buyouts of the coaches. It's not the boosters that are paying out these outrageous amounts of money for these contracts. It's the students. So there's got to be something's got to give. It's getting insane if you ask me. So, something's got to give.
Well, let's hear Ryan. Evidently, 80 to 90% of Kelly's buyout is from one booster.
Yeah.
So I trust me, I get it. With a son going to college, I understand, and there's a lot of parents understand that. I don't know if there's a breakdown of how much tuition's being raised because of buyouts and things going. That's a great question. If somebody could deep dive into all that, that's interesting because at some point you're paying. There's not a booster to pay off $20-30 million. So yeah, you got to raise. Imagine being, a professor, and then you've got your whatever taken away from you that. Because you had to go pay for a football coach. I get the frustration, man. I'd like to know for some schools what it is. But Ryan, excellent point, Bubba.
Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. 615-737-1025. But yeah, I mean, and that's generally what happens. Like at Texas A&M, there was one booster that's like, "Hey, I'm going to cut the check to get rid of Jimbo." It's usually one, maybe two that have deep pockets that if they go to the AD and they say, "We're done, we'll pay for it,"
it's over.
Been the way. Right. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, any school has got one or two that have basically like, let me run out to the backyard and, grab a couple million.
Yeah, right. So if there's an Auburn fan out there, didn't Yellowwood guy buy out Terry Bowden in the late 90s? I had no idea that he was a massive booster for Auburn, but I think he bought out Terry Bowden, the Yellowwood guy. I had no idea that he was that influential at Auburn, and he is.
I am curious. And if an Auburn fan wants to call in, I'd love to talk to you because I feel like that you've had good coaches but it's just not good enough because, and I think it's one game, and
Right.
forever it was but like Gus Malzahn beat Saban.
Yeah.
Um,
Freeze is beating him.
Freeze, no,
I mean, in his career.
in his
I mean,
career, but not with Auburn.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm saying like, what more do you want? Like, I think you kind of have to, unfortunately, look at it as you're not a perennial playoff contender. And if you think you're going to be, I think that's kind of an unrealistic expectation. Now, could you have one every now and then? Sure. But, have they won championships? Yeah. Again, it's an every now and then kind of thing. But I feel like they chased this too much.
And that's, you had Tuberville there, you had Chiswick there, you had Malzahn there, you had other guys there. And that's the thing is like, it's the Saban factor. You're trying to beat Saban and, meanwhile, Saban's just running around. I mean, how many coaches did Saban get fired indirectly in the SEC?
Oh, Lord.
Bro, I mean, come on, right? On and on and on.
615-737-1025. We'll continue to discuss this coming up next. We're at Tennessee Brew Works today.
All right, let me tell you about a big event happening over the Omni at Bar Lines Wednesday night. It's called If This Bar Could Talk Songs and Stories from Bar Lines. Heck of a lineup featuring Trinity Wiseman, Alex Zills, Elizabeth B., and Trent Fisher. That's right, the son of Jeff Fisher on the stage tomorrow night at the Omni at Bar Lines. It is free to go down there. We love Bar Lines. We love the Omni. We love Todd Rodermel. Go down there. That is Wednesday night. If This Bar Could Talk, featuring Trinity Wiseman, Alex Zills, and Trent Fisher on the stage tomorrow night. Should be a fun show. 5 o'clock, free show, Bar Lines at the Omni.
We'll looking forward to that. More coming next from Tennessee Brew Works, 102.5 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Tuesday. We're at Tennessee Brew Works today.
Good job, Dr. Crane. I tell you,
That's good stuff.
the best opening line of any song, I think. She walked by me, painted on jeans. That's what I tell Chase every time I do a remote and he walks by me. There goes Chase.
1978 said, I've never heard a more wrong guy than Ryan. He disagreed with Ryan's take there, I guess.
Ryan's going to know where you are and come have a conversation with you. No, I mean, who pays for it?
Well, it's usually a booster.
All right, what if a booster doesn't?
Well,
I mean, what? I mean, where does the money go? It just doesn't just write it off to debt. I mean, somebody's got to pay for all of them, and I understand all that. But I need to see like a hard, like, all right, we let go of Chase McCabe. We owe him $27 million. Because of that, your tuition went up 6.8%. I mean, I'd have to see the hard copy on that to like, oh, okay, I get it now. Because again, a lot of these schools have a lot of money.
This is an interesting question. 1289. With so many midseason firings of college football coaches, do we think there are going to be any midseason hiring?
Never.
I think you have to wait. Because if you want to go get the next big thing that's still coaching,
you can't. I mean, you got to get him on campus. He's got to hire a staff who's employed somewhere right now. That's why that week between Thanksgiving and championship weekend, you'll see a lot of guys start getting hired because teams are done and they're out of it, and coaches making the way to get it done. But you're not going to hire. I don't think there's ever been a really midseason hire ever.
Well, think about this, because I was reading this morning. If you're a coach that you get your team to the playoff, you're an assistant or you're a head coach with a team that you make a run in the playoff with the new portal rules, I mean, you're going to miss early signing day, and you're probably going to miss the start of the portal.
Yep, that's right.
So it puts you behind, in taking one of those jobs.
Exactly, you would do that. What's funny is that the World Series game last night was great. 18 innings, the Ohtani things that are going on. The lead story on ESPN.com: the Saints to start their rookie quarterback versus the Rams. Just the worst one, not one of the worst. I mean, the Jets and the Titans are right there. But I just find it funny because of the game last night, people didn't know if you stayed up. Dodgers won in 18 innings on a Freddie Freeman home run. But, I mean, did you watch the Monday night game?
Yeah, some of it.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs are clicking.
Yeah.
I mean, they're clicking now. They got things going on. I'm paying more attention now because of Matt Nagy.
Yeah.
Looking at him, and I know Andy Reid calls most of those plays, but what does Nagy do? What's his input? Again, I don't want somebody to make suggestions who's taking over your team, but, I mean, having Patrick Mahomes.
But he's called plays.
He has called plays.
Yeah.
You are correct, sir. Yeah, correct, sir.
1742 says Joe Dubin once coughed up $32 to get a McGavick tennis coach fired. The school took his money and didn't fire the coach.
It was not $32. It was $19, and it was an expired ATM card from Third National Bank.
There you go. Is it true that the Buffalo Bills owner is the one that bought out Jimmy Frank? I think that is true.
That is, by all indications, that is very true.
Or Terry
I don't know, but then he wants to put Joe Brady. That's all. That's why the Joe Brady talk is so prominent at Penn State, because he wants his guy at Penn State.
Well, good. Let Joe Brady go to Penn State so the Titans don't do something dumb and hire him here.
Right. Don't get him at all.
I'm fine with that because I don't want another guru. He may turn out to be one of the best coaches ever. We've seen him as a coordinator, but I don't want the quarterback whisperer guru as the head coach of the Titans.
Not at all. You could be a guru, but you're not the head coach.
Correct. So I'm just like, as I said yesterday, I'm fascinated by this because there's already a handful of jobs open, and I think there's going to be a ton more, because of the domino effect and the other firings.
Oh, it'll happen. Here, let me ask you this. So Jordan Palmer, he was a Titan quarterback for a cup of coffee. He runs this quarterback camp now that people love. Why would you not hire him to be your quarterback coach? I'm sure he's making a nice living, but why not pay him? I mean, NFL coaches make a lot of money. You pay him a lot, and he's your quarterback coach. He works every day with Cam Ward. If all these people are going to Jordan Palmer to be worked on and evaluated, why not hire him? If he's that good, bring him in to work with Cam Ward every single day. Be your guy.
I think that's a great idea, but I think also, somebody like Jordan Palmer probably looks at it as, I'm getting paid a lot of money. I control my own schedule. I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to deal with an owner or a GM or things like that. So why change?
I get it, but make him say no. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
Make me say no, that I'm not going to take your job and do it and be there. I don't know. It's just all this is happening. And it's what happens when you don't win games and there's firings going on. And, Vanderbilt's on the outside like, Tennessee, and looking in like, we don't have that problem now. Now you're going to come after our coach. But, like, why is it nobody, talking about Heupel?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, I know he's happy at Tennessee, but why not? I mean, he's winning ball.
I think they will talk about him.
I think people forget how bad it was in January of 21 when Heupel got to Knoxville.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like half of Knox County moved, and he had to rebuild that program, and he's done a heck of a job. Now, did he reach expectations too high in 22 for the Orange Bowl? Probably. But are you going to turn that down? Hell no, you're not.
No.
So he's done a great job. Guys are liking it, by all indications. So why is his name not out there?
I don't know. That is a really good question. And it might be. If, I don't know if Venables is 100% safe yet. And Oklahoma would be the one. If that opened up, then that might be if everything's hunky-dory now with him and Bob Stoops, who still has a lot of influence there, then that might be the one that lures him away.
Could be.
But he also, I look at that and I look at Shane Beamer. Shane Beamer has kind of said he doesn't want to live in his dad's shadow. And if he went back to Virginia Tech, that's exactly what he would be doing.
Yeah.
He will always be, that's Frank Beamer's son. Where at South Carolina or anywhere else, he's Shane Beamer.
He is. That's right.
So I think, there's something to be weighed there. But, looking at some other jobs. Well, and think of the domino effect, too. Like, in the ACC, could Louisville be open because somebody lures Brom away, even though that was his alma mater?
I think
Jeff Brom is a great coach.
I think Brom has fought his whole career to get where he is right now.
I think you're right, too.
I think he's good. He's good.
We already talked about Georgia Tech. Who's Virginia's coach?
Oh, gosh, it was. Oh, my God. They let Mendenhall go a few years ago. I don't know who it is.
It is Tony Elliott.
OTE.
Yeah. So, he's one you could watch. Manny Diaz at Duke.
That's a good one.
Was an interesting one. I think North Carolina's going to be open. I think Florida State's going to be open. I think Boston College very well could be open. Which, who knows what Billy O is going to end up doing.
Yeah, it's all interesting. But, and again, I heard Robbie and Rexford talk about some guy looking, since Clark Lee is the hire for LSU, they should go after him and him alone. And so with all the speculation is going to happen, still got to play football.
Yeah.
Vandy still got a huge game on Saturday versus Texas which is, if Archie Manning's not going to play, I don't know how Texas does this, but Texas can get back on the national landscape by knocking off Vanderbilt on Saturday, the number 9 team in the country. So there's a lot at stake for Texas too. Vanderbilt can permanently cement themselves if they win on Saturday, being an 8-1, and now the push of the College Football Playoffs. So there's a lot at stake. Who thought this game in the summer? We knew it would be a big game. I didn't think it'd be a massive game with so much on the line on Saturday.
Well, and the other thing I'm watching too is, so right now, if you look at the SEC standings, Vanderbilt's 5th because they're 3-1. Texas A&M and Alabama would be in Atlanta right now because they're both 5-0 in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Georgia and Ole Miss at 4-1. So Texas is 3-1, and then Tennessee's at 3-2. There's a logjam there, but let's see, A&M. What they have left is they're at Missouri, South Carolina, Samford, and then at Texas. I don't see a loss for A&M.
And so
Texas is the wild card because that's the rivalry game.
Okay. So A&M and Bama both go to Atlanta. They're both undefeated in conference play. They show up there. If you lose and you get is it fair? Does that game count?
Maybe. I mean-
But you're already in there. So if you lose that game, you're now both. Texas A&M is 12-0, Alabama's 11-1. You lose that game, you're knocked out of the top 5. You're not going to host. It's just there's a lot of unfairness there. That's why I think those championship games, for the most part, should be gone. But then again, you get a team who gets there and they need to win that game to get into the top 5. They need that game. There's so much happening now. It's hard to wrap your mind around all of it.
Bama's schedule is a little more difficult. You have LSU that I believe is coming off a bye, and Bama's coming off a bye. Does LSU get the new coach kiss?
No.
I don't think so.
No. That game's in Tuscaloosa too,
yeah,
right?
And then Oklahoma at home, Eastern Illinois, and at Auburn.
Yeah.
So I think Alabama, Texas A&M is likely going to be the SEC championship game.
I mean, that Alabama team. South Carolina had the best shot at them on Saturday, and Alabama just won. I mean, down the stretch, didn't panic and won the game, and South Carolina was devastated from that.
Here's what Georgia has left. Florida this weekend in Jacksonville, at Mississippi State, Texas, Charlotte, and then Georgia Tech.
Well, Georgia Tech game doesn't matter in the SEC, but overall it's still pretty important.
From a playoff standpoint, probably. And then Ole Miss has South Carolina, the Citadel, Florida, and then the Egg Bowl.
So that'll make them 10-2.
11-1.
So they've only lost one game, and that was to
Georgia,
which they were up 14.
Yeah, it was a close one to Georgia.
Yeah.
So if they went out, I mean, that's the other thing that the committee's going to have to. And we get our first playoff ranking next week.
Mm-hmm.
But, if things stay how they are, A&M, Bama, whoever goes to Atlanta, both teams get in.
Oh, yeah.
If things stay how they are, I think. Georgia, Ole Miss, and then, if Vanderbilt wins out, I mean.
They ain't getting in. If Vanderbilt wins out, if Ole Miss, Georgia, A&M, and Alabama are there, Vanderbilt's not
I think they
in.
put 5 SEC teams in.
You hope. I mean, that's why strength of schedule is so massively important for all this.
But then then if you look at the Big Ten, you got Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon. I would say those 3.
And don't call in and text about if there was 32 teams that all get in.
No.
God, I hate all this.
We don't want that.
Right.
615-737-1025. Coming up next, we'll get back to our question of the day. We're live at Tennessee Brew Works. Tim Hasselbeck at the top of the hour here on 1025 The Game.
Yes. The
Little Frankie Valley in the Four Seasons.
So there's a reason we play this because it's because of you.
Okay.
So
Do I cry?
it's like it's the other one, right? Sherry Baby, is that right,
Yeah.
Dr. Crane?
Yeah.
So you call him Jakey Baby.
Yeah.
So now when I see him, I'm like Jakey Baby.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So Jake is one of our up and rising stars at Cromwell Media. And
Yes.
So I annoy him every day because he works hard. He's a good young man.
I refer to him as this is a term of endearment. He's one of Big Joe's puppies. But you have taken.
Right.
I am one of your puppies.
You
that
are,
grew
right?
into a big dog, and
That's right.
that you adopt and you nurture
Oh, my
and you
gosh.
help them. And there are several. Justin Beasley's one of them.
That's right.
I mean, Ricky's one of them, I guess.
He is. He's a big old teddy bear.
So
But yeah, Colin Kadoof.
yeah. So
We
Dr. Crane is one.
Dr. Crane, right?
You know,
You show a
so-
little gumption, man. You show some gumption, we'll take you as far as you need to go. So that's a lot of fun.
We'll take you to Key West.
We'll take you to Key
Got all
West.
my
Okay.
shots ready to go.
Good.
You sure? Okay. All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Tennessee Brew Works. Sit
Joe,
anywhere. Where you on?
Joe's been greeting people
How are
as they walk.
Mandy will take care of you over there. Your
What,
best.
so what is our question of the day?
So in honor of the Dodgers game last night, 18 innings, and I was reading a story this morning, like nobody left the game last night, which is almost unheard of because people love leaving games early. What's a game you left that you regret leaving? There's got to be one game you left that you regret leaving early. So many of y'all allegedly left the Music City Miracle. As Chase said, about 400,000 of you did that. So what game do you regret leaving early? And also, I'm getting concert texts from people like, we left the concert early. We left Paul McCartney early.
Why would you leave a concert?
We left Tom Petty early. We left a James Taylor concert early. He had played all the songs we wanted to hear, so we left. So they took off.
Now, look, there's some concerts, especially if I didn't pay for the ticket, that if I know what the last song is, I might, and it's like, I don't really care. I'll listen in the concourse as I'm walking out.
So you leave early.
Yeah, sometimes.
So you can't be doing this. But what is it sports-wise that you've left that you regretted? Like a friend of mine texted early, he left the Peyton Manning Colts game on Monday Night Football versus Tampa where they rallied and won late. Dr. Crane and I talked about the Texas game on Saturday where they scored 17 in the last 6 minutes and won the game. Wasn't there an NFL game recently that what game was it? Somebody rallied back. I mean,
The Jets.
The Jets Bengals?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, that was one. Wasn't there a game, and I can't remember if it was a playoff game. There was something where the Vikings were down by like 30-something points, and it was on a Saturday.
Yeah,
The
it
Christmas
was.
game. It was against the Vikings.
Who they play?
It wasn't
Colts. Sorry, the
Colts. That's right.
It was yeah. It wasn't on Christmas, but it was
The weekend before.
yeah. It was like a Saturday game.
Well, wasn't there a Chiefs Colts playoff game on a Saturday when Andy Reid first got to Kansas City that people left in droves and they came back and won the game? I'm afraid if I leave a game early, I know what's going to happen. That y'all are going to talk about it. And like, where was Joe? Oh, well, he was already home. And I'm like, I'm not going to be that conversation. That's why I don't leave a game early or a concert early. I'm grateful to be there, so I'm not leaving those games early at all to get it done because you just never know. A team rallies back and wins the game.
AFC wildcard game, Joe. It was back in 2014. The Chiefs lost 44. Basically, the Colts won 45-44. Andrew Luck was down 28 points and came back and won.
Good Lord.
Why are we not talking about that game more? But there was a game from the Vikings that they rallied down and won. It was a Colt against the Colts, wasn't it?
I think that's
I think it was.
the Christmas game that we're referencing.
Yep.
All right, now you got me looking something up. What Jeff is
Oh, you're looking it up. The two,
NFL.
you got to dot the I.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Carry the one. No, wait. How do you spell deficit? Def.
LOSER.
Thanks.
It was November 2022, November 17th. Kirk Cousins came back from a 33-0 halftime deficit
Against the Colts.
Yep.
Yep.
They
That
won
was it.
39-36.
That's the largest comeback in NFL history.
Holy cow.
2022.
Kirk Cousins finally did something.
Before that, it was 32 points. The Buffalo Bills, you know this.
Oh,
The Bills came back from a 35-3 deficit to beat the Houston Oilers 41-38 in overtime during the 92 playoffs. That was the largest comeback in postseason history.
I don't think, but Buffalo fans, you guys are so beautiful, you wouldn't leave early. I don't think Buffalo fans would leave a game early,
No.
ever. And by the way, Frank Reich was a quarterback because Jim Kelly's hurt that day. He has two of the biggest comebacks ever. He led in 84. Boomer had gone to the pros. Frank Reich took over Maryland. They rallied and beat Jimmy Johnson's first year at Miami. They were down like 30-something points, and Frank Reich rallied them back to win the game. And now Frank Reich is hanging out with Andrew Luck at Stanford.
That's right. And then you may know this. The San Francisco 49ers trailed the New Orleans Saints by 28 points in 1980 before winning in overtime. And the New England Patriots overcame a 28-3 deficit in the Super Bowl against the Falcons, winning in overtime.
You know, it's funny. We had a conversation about Tom Brady one day. I'm like, what's his greatest thing? You know, that game in Arrowhead a few years ago was great, and the AFC Championship game. And sometimes you forget about that Super Bowl game. I know Falcons fans don't, but, I mean, they're down 28-3. I remember watching it. I was like, well, what else is on? And then here they come.
Ben on Twitter says had family members who left David Wells' perfect game because it was boring.
Oh man, was that David Wells Yankees or David Wells Toronto?
I think it was the Yankees.
Okay,
I could be wrong, but 615-737-1025. Coming up next, we'll talk to Tim Hasselbeck, ESPN NFL analyst, and the fine head coach in Innsworth High School. We'll do that next, live from Tennessee Brew Works. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Tuesday. We're live at Tennessee Brew Works. But now we say hello to our man, the head coach at Innsworth and also ESPN NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck, who is on the line with us. Timmy, what's up?
What's up? How you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic, and I'm going to let Big Joe tell you the news that I think is going to make you really happy.
Tim, my game of the week, NBA at Innsworth.
Oh, wait a second. Wait, you finally recognized that we play on Friday nights?
Fox 17. I need you on the field with me at 5:30. We do a pregame interview ahead of time, and then I would like to be escorted to the VIP room where I'll be fed till 6:30. Then I'll come out, I'll wave to the folks, and then when you win the game, sorry, Chris Sanders, we'll do an interview after the game. So it's all about Tim Hasselbeck on Friday.
This is, well, okay, it's not about me. I'm thankful that you're coming here. But wait, so I get to do like a hit with an Emmy Award-winning host?
Three-time Emmy Award-winning host. And Tim, according to the national scene, the best TikTok account in town, too. So
Is that right?
That is, yeah.
Don't ask, just say thanks.
Where am I? So how many parking spots do we need reserved for you?
Probably 4, because there's me, there's a camera guy, I have makeup, and then I have an assistant.
Hey, you know what? I don't have a game Friday night, so
Wait,
Can
we back up a second? Makeup.
Yeah, because the shine on the bald head. Look, they're there for you too. You understand this, so she can have 2 clients in one Friday night.
We just snuck that makeup comment right through.
No, I'm excited to come out there. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's go, man. Well, we're excited to have you here. That's great. We're and listen, I know this might be hard for you, but like you're working, so please do not come in a Halloween costume. Okay?
Oh my gosh! Well,
you shouldn't have said that.
if my Mrs. Roper costume arrives before them, that's what I'll be in.
Oh, that could be fun. Tim Hasselbeck joining us now. I know it was a tough one against Baylor, but you kind of expected they were going to put up a fight at their place, and you guys did as well.
Yeah. We got off to a pretty good start. I mean, we're up 14-0 in the game, and look, they're a really talented team. I think I talked to you. Really play these boarding schools. It's a little bit of a different element than it is, playing the non-boarding schools for the most part. And so I thought our kids played hard. I actually thought we responded pretty well. And, you have to get a couple things that go your way to beat a team that's that talented. But hopefully we'll get another shot to see them. And, we'll have, maybe have a slightly different plan to how to handle it.
Well, going to be a fun one Friday night against NBA as well. Let's unfortunately shift gears to the Titans as they traded Roger McCreary yesterday. And before we get into the compensation for the trade, I mean, this is kind of what happens when teams aren't good. The trade deadline is approaching. It's next week. And you have, good players that are going to get traded to contenders that need a little extra help. But, how tough is that in a locker room? And especially I know, the defensive coordinator, Denard Wilson, had some comments today of, man, it would be really nice to have the 3 corners we started the year with. It's got to be tough for the coaches to, adjust with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, the coaches, they feel like dead man walking, right? That's just, there's no way around it. There was even, an example a few years ago where I think it was after Matt Rule was fired in Carolina that, Steve Wilkes had done a really good job. And the defense especially was playing extremely well. And there was even a little bit of hope with many of the coaches on the staff that, look, maybe there's a shot. Like maybe there's a shot that Steve could get the job. Maybe that there's a shot that guys could stick around. And but ultimately, you have guys that are game planning that understand they've got to be looking for their next job. And then you're doing it with everything that you just laid out, Chase, and that, you also are trading players, starting caliber players, to teams that are having better seasons. So it's frustrating. It's hard to win that way, especially when the expectation is, to still win no matter what. Like, people want you to compete at the highest level of football when things, are happening that really make it difficult or near impossible for that to happen.
Now, I can sit here and, play armchair GM, and they got basically they're doing a pick swap for McCreary, a conditional pick or whatever. And I look at it as, okay, he was a second-round pick. Now, are you going to get that back? No, probably not. But I feel like they could have done better than swapping picks in a fifth-round pick. That's where I'm confused. I have no problem trading guys and getting draft assets, but I feel like the draft assets, for some of these players need to be in the top 100.
Yeah, I think what happens is, we can sit sometimes and look at what like the market may be, but really the market is, what the rest of the league is saying the market is. So if, I'm assuming that, you talk to more than one team, about a player. And then when you do, what is the expectation, in terms of what the compensation would be. Like, I feel like there have been trades where I'm like, really? That you got a fifth rounder for him? And then, the more you kind of look into it and you talk to, various people, you're like, yeah, I mean, they like there was a reason that's what it was. And so like, I really don't think any GM is making a move without, knowing that like what the market is maybe with somebody else for a certain player. So like, I think in some ways for me, I've stopped being surprised on compensation, because some of it's like, all right, well, where is that guy in his contract, and when is he going to be up, and what would it cost to retain him? And so, all of those things factoring in, rather than saying, all right, we use a second rounder on him, I mean, surely, we could at least get a third rounder back for him. Like, just it doesn't always match that way.
Tim, a lot of conversation would be about coming down the stretch about Cam Ward and leaving him in there and the offensive line and getting hit. Where are you on leaving him in there? His team's not any good. Offensive line's not that great. But, my God, I mean, he's learning by fire every Sunday. Is there a point where you're like, all right, enough's enough?
No, you play him. And you play him and you play through it. And, the guys that'll be in the locker room and on the team, that are hopefully teammates of his, in years to come and experiencing more success with him, will have an appreciation for, his, perseverance, like that's. And then I think there's also an element of, and I've said this probably to you guys countless times, it's so much easier to learn by doing it than by watching somebody else to do it. Like, there's a guy I know in town, I think he's won a few Emmys, who he hates the two words mental reps. Like,
yes.
And so what I would say is, like, I like mental reps more than he does, but there's no question that it's easier to get better by doing something than watching someone else do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I never learned by sitting on my bottom. I never learned. I look, and I get watching film is very important, but getting out there and doing is also important. Let me ask you this, Tim. If you had 30 minutes with Cam Ward, what's the main thing right now? Like this afternoon, you had 30 minutes with him. You've been through that fire. What would you tell him to keep his spirits up?
I think the first thing would really be not about the football stuff. So I've used Eli Manning as an example a few times, probably on the show. Like, I think I've said to you, like, you never knew with Eli if he won the lottery or if his dog died. Like that, he just was, right. So steady. And so, my time as a teammate with him, he was on the backside of the papers, being called a bust, and people were very critical of him. And then Tiki Barber retires and blasts him as a leader, and, all of those different things. And he just was so steady. Basically, you never knew. Like, you couldn't see him sweat. Like, you couldn't see that he was aware of what people were saying about him, or he did such a good job of handling it and kind of being unfazed. It was almost like that Kobe Bryant, like, don't flinch kind of, mentality, attitude. Like, he just had that. And so, I think Cam has that in him. Like you hear him talk about hard work and growing up and seeing his family and the way his family worked. And so coming and playing football, like that's not hard work. And like, I think there's an element of like, don't lose that through all of this. Don't let the frustration of lack of success or
Right.
lack of team success, do not let that change that part of you, because that part of you persevering through this is going to give you so much equity as a leader inside the organization when things turn around and start going better.
Talking with Tim Hasselbeck, ESPN NFL analyst. I guess the word's gotten out that the Titans are not open to trading, obviously Cam Ward, nor should they, but also Jeffrey Simmons. And I push back on that simply because I think he's the one that could yield you the most. Why do you think they believe it's important to have him as a building block for what this looks like in the next year or two?
Yeah, because I think guys like him are hard to find from a standpoint of like really productive defensive linemen. Good productive defensive linemen are hard to find. They're probably more difficult to find than offensive linemen. So, I think that is one of the major reasons. The fact that he's under contract with something that you probably feel is team friendly, what he kind of has meant in terms of leadership on the team and in the locker room, things like that. And so sometimes you just look at a player and you're like, yeah, I believe that he's a cornerstone of what we're trying to build. And, there was an element, there was a time in Kansas City where like Chris Jones was really unhappy with his contract. And, it was like, man, what are they going to do? They probably could have moved him. There was definitely interest, but like, there was no way that Kansas City was going to budge on Chris Jones. Like they just were going to get it done because they truly believe that like he was a cornerstone, and that is a position and production at that specific position that's just hard to find. So that would be my guess. But you're right, like, and that it's also exactly why it would turn much more draft compensation. But is it really worth it? Because to replace it probably is not realistic.
We'll have more with Tim Hasselbeck coming up next. We're live at Tennessee Brew Works today. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Tuesday at Tennessee Brew Works today, continuing our conversation with Tim Hasselbeck from ESPN and also Innsworth. And Tim, I'm curious of your thoughts on this. You obviously know the college game very well and some of these coaches, and it's been a very busy season when it comes to coach firings. But with the carousel in full swing, sometimes it does affect the NFL. Are there any college coaches that stand out to you that could make the leap and actually be successful? And I asked this because of a report over the weekend about Steve Sarkisian potentially being interested in NFL jobs, including the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, like I think sometimes it gets overblown about like, hey, could a guy that's in college have success in the pros, and honestly, even vice versa. And it's easy sometimes to come up with the names of the people that have failed, right? But like there have been people that have had success doing it as well. And so, ultimately, when you're a coach, you're in the people business from a standpoint of, you need to hire good assistants. You need to identify good players, and then you need to get the most out of them. And so, look, there's a different blueprint for acquisition of players and things of that nature when you're talking about college and pros, even though they're starting to become more and more similar, just with the transfer portal and money that can be paid to college athletes. So, yeah, I don't think there's any question that we're going to see NFL and college overlap in both directions. I think it's one of the reasons I said to you guys last week, so Clark Lee legitimately wouldn't be a candidate for an open NFL coaching job. Obviously we're like referring to the one here, but like why wouldn't he be? Like if people thought Eli Drinkwitz was doing a good job, in the SEC with maybe fewer resources than some other schools in the SEC, would that make him a candidate? If Bill O'Brien, who's been a head coach before, that's fine in the NFL, but if Bill O'Brien, was having a ton of success at Boston College, which he is not, wouldn't that make him a candidate for some of these NFL coaching jobs? Much like Joe Brady is probably a candidate to at least interview for the LSU opening.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good point. So I'll be curious to see what kind of crossover there's going to be. Looking at some of the games, from this past weekend, the Patriots and Mike Vrabel continue to impress. Do you think they can sustain this? And I mean, right now they're leading the division.
Yeah, they can. Look at their schedule. They've got a last place schedule, and so compare their schedule to the Bills' schedule, and you look at it and you're like, man, that win in Buffalo, that was a pretty big deal because, like you said it, they're right now sitting at the top of the division. And when you look at the teams that they play and the quarterbacks that they're going to face, I don't know why we should think that they're going to slow down. And, I typically think, people jump on like a new to the scene team a year too early. And look, I think you guys know, I think I'm the founder of the Drake May fan club.
Yep.
They're really good, and their schedule is not hard at all, which I look at it and I'm thinking, look, they're going to need to really underperform a few games, and then Buffalo is going to have to overperform because of how difficult their schedule is.
It's a great point. Tim, you're probably the only guy on national radio that can answer this question. Why is it so difficult to play quarterback in the National Football League? And I ask that because I go down the rosters of all these teams, like Carson Wentz is out for the season. He had to step in for J.J. McCarthy. And, he's terrible, if you compare him in the overall sense of a quarterback. But why is it so tough? Because, you go back to the 70s and 80s, even the 90s, there were a lot of good quarterbacks. I don't think we have a lot of good quarterbacks anymore. Or am I just completely off base?
I mean, I feel like there's a couple things. I feel like this was really loaded, this entire question. Because, so that I'm qualified to answer that. I feel like it was like, you've had a quarterback rating of 0 in a game before. You answer this question. I felt like you could have just asked it like that a little bit, just to be more direct and
Well, I think he
You know what I
wanted
mean?
to say, "Hey, your brother's Matthew Hasselbeck. He played in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Maybe you can answer this."
Your brother was better than you at playing quarterback. Why could he do it and you couldn't? You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of different ways you could have asked that question.
I'm sorry,
all of
buddy.
them equally as insulting as the way you asked it. It's a really hard position, and I've said this before. It's a dependent position, and I think that you've got to, also be in a system with players that can help you play well. And not every scenario fits, and not everyone can do it. And so, I think there are all those things. And then, you mentioned Carson Wentz. Then there are injuries, and then so there are all those factors. I think it's hard. I do think I would push back though on the idea that in the 70s and 80s, it was like, hey, we just were, loaded with all of this talent at the quarterback position. And what a just the riches of what we get to watch every Sunday. I think for the most part, you can find awesome quarterback play every weekend in nearly every game. Now it can dwindle at times when there's injuries, but it's Matthew Stafford, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Josh Allen, it's Lamar Jackson when he's healthy. They're really good quarterbacks. I think CJ Stroud can do a lot of really good things, has had his moments. Drake May has been extremely exciting to watch. Dak Prescott is playing quarterback at a very, very high level. So I don't think you were turning on, the Patriots in the 80s and being like, yep, Steve Grogan, I'm never going to see things like this ever again.
But he won games. He got him to a Super Bowl.
No, he did. But listen, Jared Goff, won games and got teams to a Super Bowl, and they were like, yeah, you got to go, man. You're not good enough.
Right.
I think our expectation of it has completely changed, where I just think we're so much more impatient, where it was with Grogan, it was all right, man, get the Toradol shot in the neck and put the collar on, and we're okay with that, even though Dan Fouts is throwing for more yards than you.
Oh, I know, I get it. I'm Jim Hart for the Cardinals. I loved him. Brian Sipe for the Browns. But look, I think you just made the point. I think the expectations now are such at a high level, an elite level, and if you don't get anywhere in that conversation, then you're meh as a quarterback.
Wait a second. Did
great
you
point.
mention Brian Sipe? Was Sipe involved in a gambling scandal?
That was Art Schleister.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Brian Sipe was MVP one year of the league. So
yeah, I mean, listen, and so was Rich Gannon, and so
right.
I do think that, and listen, so was Ron Jaworski, and so was so I think that, look, I think they were good players, and I think they were good players in their era, but I think if you're going to make a top 10 list of quarterbacks, it'll be like, hey, so that's, roughly a third of the league, or top 12, and say you can find 12 really good quarterbacks. I really believe that you can. And, and I think that it's a hard position, and not everyone's going to play great every week. If you want to say look, I don't believe in Kyler Murray, fine. I can get on board with that. I don't believe in Bryce Young, sure, I can get on board with that. But go look at how Sam Darnold's playing. He's playing great football right now. He's playing great football. So, I think we have good quarterback play. I do. And I think if you really were to compare it to all those other teams, or eras, I don't know that everyone's going to be like, yep, that more than a third of the league had outstanding quarterback play.
I'm just curious. Bryce Young is an example. You brought him up. I think Bryce Young's game has gotten huge, gotten great, because he's learning, went through the fire. And when he's in there, he's turned it around. That patience, and you talk about a lot of teams don't have patience with quarterbacks. They have patience with him, and look what's happening.
Yeah, but I would say you just use that example, Bryce Young. So all right, so Bryce Young, does everybody feel differently about Bryce Young than the way people at one point felt about Gus Frerotte, or I'm not positive that they do, or
right.
or Sam Bradford, or I don't know that people feel like totally different, in terms of yep, that guy for the next decade is going to be playing at an incredibly high level. But I do think that there are some where you're look, Dak Prescott, man, he's been amazing when he's had an opportunity to play. And Matthew Stafford, like, wow,
Yeah.
like look at what that guy has done, and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and like, oh my God, like look at what Jared Goff has even done. Like that's 5 guys right there, that you're talking about, and that doesn't include, Lamar Jackson or some of these other young quarterbacks.
Well, that's a good point. Imagine if Drew Bledsoe never got hurt.
Yeah, and so like Bledsoe's a great example. Like he was played at a very high level, right? And it still really wasn't good enough for people. And then so much so that it was like, all right, after New England, it was Dallas and Buffalo, and it just trying to hold off guys like Romo and J.P. Lossman, and I think it's I think it's always been kind of the same. I think our expectations of how we expect guys to play week in and week out, I think has drastically changed.
Good point.
So, Tim, putting record aside, if I say that Green Bay is the best team in the NFC and Indianapolis is the best team in the AFC, is that a true statement?
I don't know that I believe that Green Bay is the best team. I think there's a little bit of recency bias
Sure.
seeing them play against a terrible defense. Like that's, I think that's, that's part of I think what we've seen, and then I think that in terms of the Colts, look, I think the Colts are really good. I think they're for real, but I also think Kansas City's really, really good.
Yeah.
So like, I think you can be an outstanding team in the AFC and still not be the best.
So in the NFC, who would you take then?
I mean, look, I think Philadelphia is as good as any team in the NFL or in the NFC. Look, I think Detroit is,
Yep.
Detroit there's a lot to like about Detroit, a lot. And the one thing I would say about Green Bay, and I think Green Bay is really good and in the mix and all of that stuff, but when people can kind of line up and run it at Green Bay, I think that's a little bit of their weakness. Now, when you've got to throw the ball against Green Bay, I think you're playing right into their hands. But teams that can get creative and run the football against the Packers, I think can make that defense look different than it did when they, were getting Pittsburgh into all of these 3rd and longs the other night.
Hey, real quick, Tim. Carly Ursay is standing behind Steichen on the sidelines. Would it be okay if your wife stood behind you on the sidelines during a game?
Yeah, listen, she's front and center in the stands, and like if she doesn't like a call, I'm sure that I would hear it. That's why I got the headset on. So sometimes it's not even connected to anybody. It's just so it looks like I can't hear what anybody is saying. I mean, Joe, you're gonna be here. You're gonna be here. So if there's a call or something that you don't like, or there's some type of operation that you're unhappy with, I mean, just feel free to just holler it down the sideline to me.
Oh, boy. You just open it. Do me a favor. Will you do one play? And this frustrates me. I call the college football games.
Yep.
I would like to see 10 men rush the punter. I am tired of punt returns. I would like to see an all-out blitz on the punter. Punters have gotten so good. There's a fair catch all the time. But I want to see the punter panic.
Well, listen, we can do that. We can. What else do you like? We had a couple surprise onside last week. We'll add to that. We'll throw in a few more, onside kicks this week.
Yep.
Maybe a fake punt for you. So you like an all-out blitz on punt, like really get after it. All right, we can do that.
Do you have a good kicker?
Here's one thing that all of our players are good, Joe. Okay, all of them are good. That was a silly question. Okay, here's what I would say. I promise you one thing that we won't do. Okay. If there's a 4th and 1, we will not line up in shotgun. I will promise you that right now.
I will run down the field screaming if that happens.
So listen, you can run onto the field, okay? There's no streaking, okay? You can scream. You can run onto the field, but if we are in shotgun on 4th and 1. It doesn't mean we're going to run the ball.
All right.
But we will not be in shotgun.
Can you promise me this? Ben Jones is on the staff, right?
Yes, correct.
Can you promise me this? If Joe runs onto the field, can Ben just tackle him as hard as he can? I would just love to see that.
Something? We will set that up. If Joe goes on the field, we're actually going to send. It's going to look like an Oklahoma drill back to Joe's playing game with Ben and Leroy Harris.
Oh, I
Okay?
love it.
It's like
Perfect.
just-
Have
you
it
know,
like the Liberty Mutual commercial. That dude runs on the field for his emu, and that dude just lays him out.
That's what. There could be a combination of that and those like mayhem commercials.
Yes,
Like,
all that.
okay.
All right, one more play. I don't like onside kicks. I do like this though. I would like for your.
Wait, we recovered 2 surprise onside kicks last week. What do you mean you don't like onside kicks?
Doesn't mean I like it, but here's the deal. I'm guessing because it's a private school, your kicker's pretty good, right? Because all private school kickers are good. I would like, instead of an onside kick, Tim, for your kicker to drill the first guy on the line right in the face.
We tried that last week. Ricocheted off the kid. We just weren't able to recover it. Like
Love
that
it.
was the other one.
Love it.
We've already got that one. That one's probably already in the scouting report. So like, what other ones you like? You like a fumble Rooski?
Well, hold on.
Liberty?
Hold on.
Okay.
Chris Sanders listens to this show. He's at NBA. We can't give him your game
That's
plan.
true. We can't. Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, like I'm sure he's expecting it. I mean, like we're not afraid. We're not afraid to call out the tricks here. We're like, you know what I mean? Like we're having fun. Like we had 3 of them last week alone, just on kickoff.
Were you behind?
So,
Is that why you did it?
No.
Okay.
We won the toss, went down and scored, and onside kicked.
Oh, this is going to be fun Friday night.
This is going to be good. I think I'm going to have to show up now.
Let's go.
All right. By the way, I like pizza for a pregame meal, so I'd like for that in the Innsworth VIP room Friday night.
Okay, we'll put that in the media credentialed area.
Or Crystal. I don't
Or
care,
Crystal.
Tim. Either one.
Tim, appreciate it as always, and good luck Friday night.
All right, thanks, fellas. See ya.
Absolutely. Tim Hasselbeck joining us here on the program, and yes, Big Joe. I may have to
come out
I
there.
may have to join
Look,
because I don't have a game.
Look,
it's Thursday night.
Right. Look, Chris Sanders, Derek Mason, Tim Hasselbeck. I mean, I love getting inside their heads, talking about plays, football, moments, practice, things, anticipation. I mean, those guys, it's so grateful we have those 3 guys on the station with us to talk about just beyond X's and O's. And those 3 guys are wonderful.
Tomorrow night, you'll be on the call alongside the best, Chip Walters, as the Blue Raiders will take on Jacksonville State, 6:30. All the action on 93.3, with coverage also available on the Totally Hits Nashville app and totallyhitsnashville.com. We're live at Tennessee Brew Works today. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Tuesday. We're live at Tennessee Brew Works today. Appreciate Tim Hasselbeck for joining us here on the program. Our buddy Music City Bets, Ricky, just sent us this tweet. Paul Andrew Edson Jr. Says, Zach Glatt revealed a wild story from the Jets locker room after the Bengals win. He and Tom Rock are waiting in the locker room to speak with cornerback Jarvis Brownlee Jr., who made the game-sealing play on 4th and 9 against the Bengals. At one point, Brownlee asked Zach and Tom what time it is. We say it's like 4:57. He goes, "Oh, great. I still have time to go watch the Titans lose." This is the kind of pettiness that I strive for.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that. And then today, the coordinators talked, for the Titans. And, obviously, L'Jarius Sneed's hurt, which, okay, honk if you've heard that before. But they traded Brownlee. They just traded McCreary. And I want to find the exact quote real quick. That Denard Wilson, the defensive coordinator, said for the Titans, this is well, let's see, where is it? Well, I think Koharski has a video, but others have had it as well. He's talking about Jalen Armour-Davis. He's one of the guys we have, and we have to keep riding that horse. And then he goes on, he basically says, we can have the next man up mentality, but it would be nice if we had the 3 starting corners we had to start the year.
Ouch.
Which I think was a little bit of a veiled shot at, management. Obviously can't help a guy being hurt, but, I think that's interesting.
This makes me laugh too. This is from Nick Holtz today from Toronto Davenport.
Oh, was he giving
Nick Holtz?
Suggestions?
Yeah, said they're working to not be as predictable on the first down when they run the football, which often leads to falling behind the chains. Holtz pointed out how they have minimized the penalties, which has helped eliminate some of the 3rd and longs. No, your 3rd and longs because you are extremely predictable on your first down, and your second down is extremely predictable. Has one tweeter back to them says, any high school coach in America would give the same assessment, so it's basic that it's disrespectful to the listener. At this point, you're not going to listen to anything they say over at St. Thomas Sports Park with anything at all because you're 1-7. Your teams are woefully unprepared. You're getting driven off the ball. You can't block anybody. I mean, it is a cavalcade of errors that is happening over there. At the end of the day, I just think, and you brought up yesterday, they're just not good.
No,
That's
they're not.
it.
At the end of the day, they're not good.
They're not good.
They're not a good football team. They're not going to be a good football team for the foreseeable future until they get out of their own way and, actually start making moves like not giving up a starting cornerback for a pick swap.
Awful. What's the spread this weekend? I'm curious.
Last I saw was 8.5.
Because I don't think, Chase, you take the Saints game out, I don't think there's a game where
they cover another one.
Under 7 is an underdog. Take the Saints game out. I think they'll be
10.5.
10.5. The Chargers coming in here. They still got to play the Chiefs. They got to play the Texans again. They got to play Jacksonville twice. I don't think they're going to be under 7.5 as a underdog. The rest of the, I think it'll be more than that.
Here's what I would say. I don't think there's another win on this schedule. There probably is because it's the NFL. Like
the Saints, that's it.
Browns, maybe.
It's up there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think
but like couldn't you see just a terrible, terrible team like this and they mess around and beat like the Jags or they beat the Seahawks or something?
They always do. They always do.
They should.
Even in the 2014 season, they started out by beating the Chiefs
on
the road. 2015, they ended up beating the Bucs weren't that great, but it was like, they got some things going on here. And then now it's just hit a bottom of we've never seen before in the city. 2014 was pretty bad. 15 was a little exciting because you had Mariota and you felt good about a few things. But now it's like, what do you feel good about? Even Cam is not really like, oh yeah, Cam Moore, because he's got so much work to do.
You know what's like super depressing? We have 9 more games of this
I
BS.
love it. I absolutely love it.
9 more games. They have 9 more games.
Just what could happen? I mean, and that's why we, sometimes we're defaulting over to Vanderbilt now because we're seeing things with Vanderbilt we did not plan on in July about this team being 7-1, ranked in the top 10, going to Texas with an inside track to get to the college football playoffs. I mean, would that be remarkable? Indiana, Vanderbilt, in the college football play. Indiana was there last year, though, but getting back in there. It's got to happen someday.
615-737-1025. We'll come back and wrap up hour number 2 next live at Tennessee Brew Works on 1025 The Game.
I need to learn more about this. I need to be able to say, is this person full of BS? Do they even know what they're talking about? And I think one of the things that being on the headset has really helped me learn is, to the question earlier, it's such a complex organism, a football team and how it operates. And on game day, and you could say, oh, that person ran that route wrong. When you learn to find, oh, someone tagged the wrong wide receiver, and it wasn't really the player's fault. It was the person that called it. So, and it's never, I think that's been a very valuable, because it also helps us be able to know, where do we need to make tweaks? What resources do we need? What do we need to fix? So much of it comes down to just how we operate and how things work. And the headsets are really, I wish I would suggest it for anyone else that has to pay coaches and GMs millions and millions of dollars. It helps you make a less expensive mistake potentially.
That was Carly Ursay-Gordon talking about why she wears the headset and takes notes on the sideline. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game, live at Tennessee Brew Works today. I mean, it's funny. We laugh. If I owned a team, I probably would do the same thing. Now, I would put football people in charge of the football team, and I wouldn't meddle. Now, I'd want to know what's going on, but I would sit there in a boardroom and I go, yeah, you know more about this than I do. I'm going to trust
So why don't you
your
tell
judgment.
Jerry Jones that?
Well, Jerry Jones thinks he knows more than anybody else.
Do you remember when, and I'm with you, when Vince Young would have the earpiece on the sidelines and people were saying, oh, he's listening to music. That was such a lie that, like, somebody at the Titans told me he's listening to music during the game. He's not listening to play. And that became such a lie. And I felt bad for Vince because he had to defend that. Like, I'm listening to play calling and going in. And that's the same thing. I mean, I'm going to listen to those play calls as well. And it's her team. Why not? That's why our joke yesterday was, if Amy Adams Strunk was on the sidelines, what would she be writing in her notebook? I mean, Carly Ursay is, look, the fact that people say women don't know football is so astronomically wrong.
Yeah.
That sometimes it drives me crazy. And she's very smart. She's very capable. We know when a play's not working. Everybody knows when a play's not working. So I got no problem. And around the league, I don't think nobody has a problem with it.
Right.
If you got a problem with it, then that's on you, man.
But I think we can agree, like, whether it's man, woman, like, you don't want them having a headset going, Mike, could you on that next play run a zig route, put Pollard out in the flat, and like that's not what we're looking for.
Could you see her walk over and tap him on the shoulder like, well, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that play call. What was it? They're in the middle of a game. Did she go? Oh, yeah, okay. I saw some people had pitched. She didn't go to the Indianapolis game because some people had pictures of her on the sidelines.
I think she's been at every game.
Okay.
I mean, I think so. Eric wants to weigh in on the Titans and Vandy. Eric, what's up?
Hey guys, as far as the Titans, it's another game where I think Cleveland, I would be surprised if Cleveland's moving by more than a touchdown. I don't see that, guys. And I also say this, I think the Titans will at least get one more win, but a lot of times, guys, when you have a team as bad as this, it's just tough for teams to get up for you every single week. So there's a game like come here like at home. I'm not saying it's the Chargers this week because Chargers will have 10 days off. So we'll be coming off a bye. Maybe it would be Houston or Seattle or Jacksonville. I don't know about Kansas City unless Kansas City could be looking ahead because you remember, guys, Kansas City, after they play us here, they've got a Thursday night game a few days later.
Right.
So it just depends. And also about Vandy, this is not to knock Vanderbilt, guys. I think Vanderbilt has to really be careful here, guys. And the reason why I say this is Vanderbilt is coming off several physical, emotional games in a row. Guys, I think they could be in for a flat spot either this week against Texas or next week against Auburn. And the reason I say that, you remember Alabama. Alabama played 4 straight games against ranked teams. They played South Carolina, had to come from behind to beat them, and South Carolina's not very good. And that's one of the things when Vanderbilt is such good as they are at physicality, they could fall into the same trap where I'm not saying they're necessarily looking past an opponent, but with the SEC and the way it is, guys, do not be surprised either this Saturday or next Saturday against Auburn. Vanderbilt kind of has that flat spot because I believe it's coming. They still have 4 games left. It's just tough with the physicality of the SEC for them to play like that every week. Guys,
Hold
y'all
on.
take
Don't
care
you
of
go
what
any,
Coach
don't, no,
gets.
no, don't you go anywhere. Don't you put that out in the universe, Eric. Don't you put that out there, buddy.
I mean, it happened to Alabama. I'm thinking it could happen. I'm just not saying this to be mean, but I just think that happens to all good teams.
I know. Look, and I get it. This Texas game is going to be very difficult for him, but that's the SEC. Every week you have to bring it every single week, and Vandy's learning this. They've learned it the hard way. Now they get to learn it each and every week. So good point, Eric.
Thank you,
guys.
Eric.
Y'all take care. We'll talk to you soon.
You bet,
Absolutely.
buddy.
I will say this because I'm the same way. Like, don't put the bad juju out there. But isn't it a little bit refreshing to be talking about worrying about Vanderbilt going into a trap game and actually being in a position to be able to do that?
Right?
Like that's what's kind of refreshing. We'll more on that and much more coming up next in hour number 3. Chasing Big Joe live at Tennessee Brew Works today, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 3, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. We're live today at Tennessee Brew Works. Come by and say hello. We've had a nice little lunch crowd in here. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier back in the studio.
Question for you. Halloween's coming up Friday. If you could dress up as your favorite athlete, who would you dress up as?
Well, I kind of look like him, so I could just dress up as Dale Jr.
Pardon me? Kind of look like him.
Well, I mean, people have told me that.
Have they?
Yeah.
Sober?
I'm a little taller and a little fatter.
Yeah, right? You're a little bit bigger than that. Do you want how many
I'd
jerseys?
probably do Dale Sr. Like, do the mustache and get the gargoyles and, wear a hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get a nice fake mustache there and do that.
Or I could just shave my beard off, and then I'd have a good one.
Yeah, but you got to make the mustache dark, though. Like,
Yeah.
big time. Like, there was a costume last night. They were Andy Reid costumes at Arrowhead Stadium. And they all look like Andy. I mean, it was funny because the costume looks like Andy Reid. You got the mustache, you got the eyeglasses, the droopiness, and you look like Andy Reid. It's great.
Okay. I'm glad you just brought this up because this is something that bothers me that shouldn't bother me. And I don't really know if there's a good fix for it. Do you think, like the NFL, for instance,
Okay.
will play on November 2nd this week? So that is after Halloween. So around the league, they kind of observed Halloween last weekend.
Okay.
And to me, like, do you think it should be before or after the holiday itself? If you can't do it on the actual holiday
For a team?
for whatever, but
Like-
you see that a lot. Like high school football is going to be on Halloween Friday night, so you're probably going to have people dressing up and
That's fine.
all that stuff, which you should because
Yeah.
that's actually Halloween.
Yep.
Like the Vols are wearing dark mode Saturday night, even though that is the day after Halloween.
Happy Halloween, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got no problem with it because the Titans cheerleaders will do their costumes on Sunday, and good Lord,
Are they
those costumes are wonderful.
Are the Titans going to dress like a good team? Are they going to be the
No,
Patriots? Or?
But the cheerleaders, one year one of the cheerleaders had a toupee on for a costume.
Yeah.
And it got knocked down over her face, and the press box were like, "Look, there's Bud Adams," because her toupee was so bad. I got no. If it's like the Titans been on the road, so I think they could do it this week. I'm fine with that. There's not a problem with that to do all that. But yeah, I'm good. I think the Vols.
But I guess what I'm saying, like, it was being referenced a lot, like on broadcast last week, and I was kind of like, this is like a week before.
Yeah, if you haven't played the home game,
I think you should be around like the weekend of the holiday. So like a lot of Halloween parties are probably going to be Saturday night.
that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what
good with
saying.
that. I'm good with that. I just don't have, if I could dress up as an athlete, I mean, Howie Long is my all-time favorite NFL player, but I don't have a 75 jersey or a Raiders helmet. I mean, that'd be cool to dress up like
Howie
that.
Long?
But yeah,
That'd be a good one.
I mean, huge fan. But I was just, parties are happening Saturday night, and I got no problem with that because that's, you get busy on Friday. Nobody gets together on Friday, but Saturday's the night to do that.
Dr. Crane, what about you?
I mean, yeah, I'll dress up for Halloween. I mean, do I think that NFL should do it the week after? I think that's the right call. Doing it the week before is just dumb.
Yeah. But like, who would you dress up as? What athlete?
Can Scattaboo.
No.
He does kind of look like it.
It's just tough.
The build.
Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm pretty stocky. Golly, this is a tough one, guys.
Oh, man.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say
Darren
Mario.
Sproles.
Yeah, people actually gave me that number in high school. That's why I wore 43
43.
because I was 5'5". That's why.
What about
You guys do favor.
Muggsy Bogues? He's short.
Kyler Murray probably.
Kyler Murray.
Oh,
yes.
We short
Okay.
people assemble.
Is he number 4?
One, I believe.
Oh, number 1. Okay.
It's one of those little things that are kicking and screaming. We are a what does he say? It's like a giant mega person. Byung Sun with the other tall guy. It's the short little kid. They named him Byung Sung. You remember that?
I do not.
And then Mike Ditka comes in and calls him Bing Bong.
Yeah. All right. That's
Oh.
right. That's right. God, that was 20-something years ago. So Kyler Murray was number 1 because that's the same size as his feet. He wears a size 1.
Did I see on your, speaking of like years ago, yesterday you posted that the Chippendales thing with
Farley,
Farley.
35 years ago.
Good grief. And that was Farley and
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze, yeah.
No longer with us.
Yeah.
One of them. Yeah, 35
One of the
years
greatest
ago.
bits of all time.
Oh, absolutely it is. And so, yeah, I mean, that's time flies. I mean, just watch out. Next thing you know, it's like, what in the world's going on? And so a lot of Titans fans would like that for the 2025 season. Dr. Crane had something funny on the pregame show Sunday. He's already focusing on 2027. And I laughed at that, but then I realized you go back and you look at everything, it's not a bad way to look at things because 26 might not be as good either.
No. I don't think 26 is going to be very good. It needs to be better. Like it needs to be it. So you're going to probably be picking in the top 5, maybe the top 3.
Better.
You need to use that to get even more draft capital. Like if they end up on draft day or draft weekend having 6 picks in the top 100, I will be very happy.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be very ideal. You need to go get Cam Ward, your stud receiver that can be the number 1, because I think they have something in Ioman or in DK, but neither one are a number 1. But a 2 or a 3 or somewhere in there, I think they have that. You got to go find the true number 1. You need to get a pass rusher, like today,
right?
That's get a pass
imperative.
rusher, and then. Is J.C. Latham fixable at right tackle, or is that a missed pick and you need to replace that?
Well, I don't think you give up on him now. I
don't think you give up. I don't think
with him.
Yeah.
God, there's so much on this football team.
Turned out to be pretty good.
He is, but the 5 are only as good as the ones around you. Dan Moore, Cushenberry, average. Zeitler, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, you need a guard.
And then J.C. Just don't take him in the first or second round.
No.
Don't.
No, and you could get your guard, 4th, 5th, somewhere in there.
I need playmakers. I brought that story that Nick Saban tells all the time about 4th and 20 in the state championship game. He's calling the plays. I get the ball on the 20-yard line. 1 play left. He goes to the sideline, and his coach says, "What are you going to call?" He said, "Oh, I'm thinking about calling this call. I'm thinking about calling that call." And then Saban's coach says, "Don't worry about the plays. Worry about the playmakers."
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that is so right. Worry about the playmakers to get it done, and that's how you make it done. You got to get playmakers in there, and what you do, you're good. We're getting costume suggestions for you, Dr. Crane.
No.
Yep.
No. I bet it's something about Mario and Luigi.
No.
Teletubbies coming through.
Adam in Portland. Chase should be Jason Kelsey, and Big Joe could be Goldberg. I could see that.
Okay.
That could kind of work. Jeremy in Clarksville says, "Are we already lowering expectations for next season? Sad state of affairs." Well, what do you expect, Jeremy?
It is.
Have you watched this? Like, what is giving us hope?
And meanwhile, Vrabel and that team still rolling up there. And unfortunately, we're going to be comparing what he's doing to Nashville. I mean, that's just the way we do things of happening. And so it's a cavalcade of errors, of missteps, of a lot of things that went wrong that probably in a million years, I don't think that would happen. Well, a million years is up, and we're sitting here with the worst football team in the National Football League, where 3 miles down the road, one of the best football teams in college football is making their claim. So it's like a reverse of what we've been used to the last 20-something years. And it's kind of cool in a way to sit there and talk about Vanderbilt football making the way to the playoffs, and unfortunately talk about the Tennessee Titans not going anywhere again.
615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We're live at Tennessee Brew Works today here on the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game.
All right, hey guys, Big Joe here. Listen, anxiety and depression, 2 words that can just wreck your life if you let them. And men, sadly, most of us, well, we lead lives of quiet desperation, but it does not have to be that way. That is why we are so honored at 102.5 The Game to be partnering with Unity Psychiatric Care, based right here in Middle Tennessee, to get you back on track and living the life you deserve. I tell you all the time, reaching out to someone and talking changed my life, and we want the same for you. Here's all you got to do. Just go to GameNashville.com and click on the Chase and Big Joe Show. There, you will see a link for Unity Psychiatric Care and start taking back your life. It is private. It is secure. It is confidential. No one has to know. I just need you to reach out to them. Or you can call 1-888-508-8002. 1-888-508-8002. Also, you may be the one who notices a loved one isn't doing well, and you could be that person to turn their life around. Also, just go to GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe Show. They're on the right-hand side, and all the information you need for Unity Psychiatric Care. Look, we love you so much, and help is just around the corner. Take back your life, and please know you don't have to go through any of this alone. Again, the GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe Show, and let the journey to wellness begin.
Chase and Big Joe live at Tennessee Brew Works today, hanging out. Appreciate them for having us. We're at Omni on Thursday, and we'll be at ML Rose in East Nashville on Friday. So
someone sent a note and said that we should dress up as SpongeBob. I will be Patrick. Thanks for that. Nick, you're Mr. Krabs, and then
I was gonna take a wild guess. Somebody said Plankton.
Plankton. No, and then Chase is SpongeBob. When I think of SpongeBob, I don't think of you.
no,
I think of Dr. Crane.
I think I'm more Patrick.
Easy now. I'm no SpongeBob, all right?
Chase is Pat. I'll be Mr. Krabs because all he wants is money. That's
I know
all
I
he
got big
cares
teeth, but they're not that big.
Well, who would be Squidward? Adam Vingen. There you go. That's our Squidward. We'll do the whole 102.5 The Game on-air staff will be members of the of SpongeBob. There we go.
Squidward. That's perfect.
Oh my gosh! All down the line.
That's good. 615-737-1025. Jason in Dover, we're talking about Vrabel, he has 4 ex-head coaches on his staff, or do we think he's that good?
Who all does he have? Josh McDaniel.
Yeah, how does he doesn't
4 ex.
hang on.
Mayo's Gerard Mayo's brothers on the staff,
Yeah,
but
but
not
he's
him.
not on it.
What's happening, ladies? Doing all right? Welcome to Tennessee Brew. All right now.
Just a moment.
I just
all
know
right.
2.
So Josh McDaniels, Doug Marrone. That's one. All right. So there's 2. Terrell Williams he's not been a head coach.
Nope.
Ben McAdoo.
Ben McAdoo. All right.
So I got 3. I don't have 4. Vrabel, McDaniels, Doug Marrone.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but that's still. I mean, that's
so again. Remember, Vrabel let Terrell Williams be the head coach of the preseason game.
yeah.
And they asked him and said, "Hey, what was it like?" He's like, "It was harder than I thought. Challenge flag, doing this. Do I go for it on 4th down?" So having experienced head coaches on the staff is huge. It helps out every team but one in the league. Because how many did the Titans have? They had Bill Callahan, Mike McCoy. So there was 2 they had. Was that it? On the Brian Callahan staff head coaches?
His dad,
McCoy.
McCoy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. And still couldn't.
I mean, Bones had been an interim.
Bones.
But
Bones.
yeah. And I wouldn't here's the thing. McDaniels, Marrone, and McAdoo are on the staff. They weren't exactly great head coaches.
Nope. Not at all.
Doug Marrone might have been a little better than he was given credit for.
Was Marrone head coach at 2 places, Jacksonville and Buffalo?
I think he and Malarkey kind of did the same thing.
Okay. That's right. God, Malarkey had 3 shots as a head coach.
Yeah.
Bills, Jags. And Malarkey was great one time talking about how he developed. He was accurate. Cordell Stewart with the Steelers when he was there, and how they did all this game planning with Cordell and took advantage of his, the great things that he had and he could do. So it was fun to talk. I like Malarkey. He was fun to talk to.
It's kind of interesting to think about. We were talking about this yesterday. Is there a coach that's been a coach of 3 SEC teams and we couldn't find one? But think about NFL coaches that have had 3 or more shots at it. So Doug Marrone, Mike Malarkey was with the Titans, the Jags, and the Bills.
There's a lot of 2-time coaches.
John Fox, Panthers, Broncos, and Bears.
Okay, good one. Forgot about that.
And played and coached in 2 Super Bowls, I think.
Yes.
Belichick. Is Belichick 3? Browns, Patriots. Well, you don't count the Jets, I guess.
No, I mean, even though didn't he accept it for a day though?
Yeah.
I mean, technically he was there,
but he didn't coach a game. Pete Carroll,
Patriots,
Seahawks, and Raiders.
Good one there, Chaser.
And didn't he coach the Jets?
Is that where
I think he's got 4.
The choking.
He has been the head coach.
He might have.
Was
he there?
Yes,
Parcells?
He was the Jets in '94, Patriots '97 and '99, Seahawks and Raiders. So he is coach 4.
Wow. Okay, that's a record. I mean,
I can't. Andy Reid's 2.
I'm trying to go back to Dan Reeves at Broncos,
Falcons.
Giants, and Falcons.
So 3.
Parcells. Oh my gosh.
Parcells has had the Giants, the Jets, the Patriots, and the Cowboys.
There's 4.
So there's 4.
Wow.
So
I think the experience is invaluable for most cases. except when he came to the Titans, and that's why they promoted Mike McCoy to the interim head coach, because he had the 4 years with the Chargers from 13 to 16.
Schottenheimer, how many he have?
Oh, Chiefs, Chargers, and Browns. 3.
Browns, yeah. Mike Shanahan, Raiders, Broncos, Redskins.
Look at you, man. Getting the knowledge on the history here. I like that.
I'm just trying to. I know there's.
Ditka,
This is kind of fun.
Ditka had 2, Bears and Saints.
Yep.
Did
North Turner have?
Gosh, I know he's been Redskins. He's with the 49ers. He's with the Chargers. I know those are OC. Some of those OC jobs.
Hang on, I got another one. I got another one for you.
Okay.
Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips coached Houston. Was the interim. Well, so we won't count.
Oilers or Texans?
Texans.
Okay.
Dallas. Actually, I think both. Dallas. Buffalo. Denver. I forgot he was head coach with the Broncos, I think before Shanahan. And then he has had 3 stints as an interim head coach. He was the interim head coach with the Saints, I think when Bum got fired. He was the interim coach with the Falcons in 2003, and then the interim coach with the Texans in 2013.
Wow.
So that's one. And he won the Super Bowl with the Broncos as a defensive coordinator.
Good
with
Lord.
Gary Kubiak. How many has he had? 2? Houston, Denver?
Yes.
So that's Adam in Portland with a real good one. Dick Vermeil.
Eagles, Chiefs,
Rams. I think those 3.
Those 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then So that's a good
wow,
one.
those are good coach. Yeah. All right. So again, they just like Major League Baseball managers just keep getting jobs over and over again. But I mean, again, the experience these guys have is invaluable to what they're going to do and what they've been there. That's why Brian Callahan, as a first-time head coach, calling plays, was just overwhelmed. He was not built for that job.
Was Shula only the Colts and the Dolphins?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
We already said Marty Schottenheimer. Did he coach the Redskins?
He did.
So 4.
Did he coach the Redskins?
I feel like he.
I don't think he did.
Or maybe he was on the staff. I don't remember. Dan Reeves, you said Broncos, Falcons, and Giants?
Correct.
So he's got 3.
Yep. Gruden did 2. Raiders and the
Fisher
the
did 2.
Would have done 3. I had the chance.
Yeah. I think we've hit them all. I'd be curious if there was
Marty
another one.
Schottenheimer did. He was the head coach.
Was he?
So he's coached 4 places.
When was he at the Redskins?
2001.
Just 1 year?
Just 1 year.
Because Spurrier took over in 2002, which was a disaster.
All I have here, it says Cleveland, Kansas City, Washington, San Diego.
That'd be it.
That sounds, yeah. I mean, that sounds right.
And didn't make a Super Bowl with any of those.
Yeah. He could never get over the hump. Dylan and Antioch said Jeff Fisher, Titans, Oilers, Rams.
Well, I did
Not
have
quite.
5 different home stadiums when I was coaching.
Yeah. 615-737-1025. We'll have more. We said Shula coached the Colts. We'll have more from Tennessee Brew Works coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Tuesday at Tennessee Brew Works today. DVD coming up in about 30 minutes. Continue the fun here on 102.5 The Game. I laughed at this that I just saw somebody tweet, I guess AI'd a picture of Lane Kiffin, and he's sitting at a desk with 4 hats: LSU, Arkansas, Penn State, and Florida. And he's wearing Ole Miss gear.
Oh, yes.
Like, and somebody says, is it going to come down to signing day? And then another person said this would do insane numbers. Could you imagine if they did it? If that's how he
I wouldn't
decided?
allow it. If I was Ole Miss, I wouldn't allow that nonsense on my campus.
No. 100%.
All right, so this is why people are like, why are you so infatuated with what Vanderbilt's doing right now? Because for all those who know, Vanderbilt for many years was the laughing stock of the SEC.
Yep.
Just the laughing stock. It was a guaranteed win. It was homecoming. Beano Cook famously said back in 1982, the only way Vanderbilt gets into the SEC, wins the SEC, is if the other 9 teams go on probation.
Yeah.
So
Saban had the quote.
Yeah. So I have the top 12 longest SEC conference losing streaks. It's from 12 to 1. 12 was Ole Miss with 16, Mississippi State 16, Kentucky 17. The 3 of the top 4 are Vanderbilt SEC losing streaks. From 1995 to 98, they lost 22 straight. From 2000,
that was most of Woody.
and
a little
Dowhauer and Woody. Yep.
Yeah.
2000, 2003, Woody and Bobby Johnson, 23-game losing streak. It's number 3 all time. 1976 to 81, they lost 33 conference. I think it's Fred Pancoast, and then
Steve Sloan.
George McIntyre took over after that.
McIntyre.
The all-time conference losing streak. So I think Mississippi State, Dr. Crane is getting up there. So is Arkansas. I think State's lost 12 or 13, if I'm correct on that. Sewanee has the all-time losing streak from 1933 to 39. Sewanee lost 36 conference games in the SEC. So it's Sewanee,
Can't imagine
Vandy,
why they left the
Vandy,
conference.
and Mississippi State. Those are your top 5 losing streaks. So Mississippi State's up this weekend. I think they've lost 12 straight, Dr. Crane. Am I correct on that?
I believe so. I'll double check on that for you.
You better double check on that for us. So I think it's 12, but Arkansas's lost a lot too as well.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all have a good day. Thanks for coming
have a
by.
good one.
Tennessee Brew Works. Love seeing you.
That is it. That's So Vandy's got a bunch of those.
So,
but
yeah.
not so much now.
So you see that, like, oh my goodness. That's why so many people, Vandy fans, are like, all right, here we are. We're here. We've just been silent for a long time. And I'm like, show your black and gold. I mean, I love hearing Willie talking about graduated there, went to school there. I mean, that was his lifeblood. So to see them in this uncharted territory is very cool. We've seen Vols there. My God, we've seen Alabama there, all these other schools. But now to see Vanderbilt there is really cool. And I would love for them to get to Atlanta.
Sure.
There's only a few schools that have never been to Atlanta. Ole Miss has never been to Atlanta. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Never been. Mississippi State's been there, but Ole Miss hasn't.
Ole Miss, Vanderbilt,
Kentucky,
and then
I mean, A&M has not been there, obviously.
Yeah.
Missouri went their first 2 years.
I think A&M has been there.
They've not been to the SEC championship game.
Okay.
No.
I thought Johnny meant, or no, he was before the SEC. That's right.
Well, he was the first 2 years. He was
first
12
2
and 13 right through there to get there. So it'd be great. I mean, South Carolina went one time. Florida's been a bunch. Georgia's been a bunch.
Missouri.
Alabama's been a bunch. Missouri's been twice. LSU went a couple of years ago. I think it might have gone last year. I don't remember. Didn't win it, but there are so it'd be cool to see Vanderbilt knock that off the little list right there to go to the SEC championship game. Because man, something else.
Matthew in Nashville asks, where is Tennessee's 26-game winning streak over Kentucky? We're just talking as a whole, not.
Wait. So yeah, that was from 85 to 2010. I think that's right. Because remember, Dooley lost to Kentucky.
Yeah, Dooley did.
Because Kentucky ran out a wide receiver who never played before. They ran the Wildcat the entire game and beat him. And Dooley didn't speak to the press for like 2 months. What a disaster that guy is.
Oh,
an absolute disaster.
I met him like once or twice, and he was like a super nice guy, but it was just kind of like, why are you a football coach?
I have the video somewhere. I did a live interview with him when I was at Channel 2 at the UT alumni banquet at Lipscomb. And he came over, and I said, hey, we're going to commercial break. We'll come back about 2.5 minute break. And like a minute into it, he's like, this is taking forever. I'm like, well, it's a 2-minute break. I don't have time for this. And then he was just a supreme jerk on TV. And that's my whole thing. It was like, you could be a jerk a la a Saban when you've earned it.
Yeah, you haven't earned it.
But when you've done nothing like Dooley hadn't, and then he wants to be that way, it's like, oh, man, all right, we aren't playing this game here.
Nick says it's 16 consecutive 12 under Jeff Lebby from Mississippi State.
Ooh. So they've hit the territory of making that list. So they've
Do we
hit the
still,
list.
okay, so at the beginning of the year we were kind of like he might be out. Do we think he's done enough?
Heck yeah, he has.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's bought himself another year.
Okay. All right.
I
mean, you
say
look at-
2, but definitely 1.
So, all right, they lost to Tennessee in overtime, which they probably should have won that game. They probably should have beaten Texas. I know probably doesn't get in the win column. I understand that.
Horseshoes
Probably should beat
almost only
Florida.
counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So.
What was the other one?
Florida.
Pocket pool or whatever it was
Yeah,
like. Pocket
something
pool.
like that.
Florida, right?
Yep.
And then was it Auburn that barely beat them?
They have not played Auburn yet. I don't believe.
Okay, maybe you need to shut your mouth. So, all right, Florida. That's it. All right.
Dr. Crane,
Who was the game? I mean, they beat Arizona State.
Yep.
They beat Southern Miss to start the year. Who was the other team that beat them?
Well, if only I had a
Texas?
device.
Texas, Tennessee, Florida,
Alabama?
and one more.
Alabama?
No. You sure it's not Auburn there, Dr. Crane? You're the biggest Mississippi State fan around.
I don't recall them.
If only there
playing
were a
Auburn.
device that I could pull up a schedule.
Let's
Do it there,
see.
Chaser.
Tennessee,
All right,
A&M. That's it. A&M.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they beat Alcorn State, Northern Illinois, lost to Tennessee, lost to A&M, lost to Florida,
What was the A&M score?
lost to Texas. They lost 31-9 to A&M.
Okay. A&M's really good. It's a
So
team
they
we don't
got
talk about.
Arkansas, Georgia, Missouri, Ole Miss.
So just 2 more and get to a bowl game. I think Jeff Levy's done quite enough to keep his job there. I mean,
They should
they're
beat
competitive.
Arkansas. They should beat Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, they are a competitive football team.
I'm not sure there's another win on that schedule though. After Arkansas.
Well, that's it. And the Texas loss was just gut wrenching because you had him down
Yep.
17 in the fourth quarter.
And Florida.
Gosh,
You lost and still got the coach fired at Florida.
right? Poor Billy Napier. But no, I think Levy's done quite enough to. I think he's got something there. And good. I mean, Dr. Crane was ready to fire him after last season and get him out of town. Said,
Yeah, I mean, the defense has really improved from last year to this year tremendously.
One of the Texas players, Dr. Crane, said that Starkville was the loudest stadium he'd heard. It was even louder than the Cotton Bowl.
I believe it. I mean, when those cowbells get to ringing and it's a sold-out crowd, it is something to see and hear.
Do you have cowbells?
I do. I have like 3 of them.
Okay.
All
should bring-
purchased by somebody else. So
Why did you have to add that?
I don't have bad luck.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, you have to have somebody purchase a cowbell for you as a gift.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, I like that. All right, well, maybe they'll win 6 and get to come to the Music City Bowl again. You can go down and say hi.
Okay. Go to
By
practice,
the
say
way,
hi.
have you noticed on Twitter that
Man.
something that's been popping up? It's been 10 years, I guess, since Tennessee played Oklahoma, and Butch wouldn't run Jalen Hurd from the 1 yard line. You
Is that the
remember
Baker Mayfield game?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think so. It was at Neyland too.
Can we talk about the guest you got for us 10 years ago?
Was it 10 years ago?
It might have been when Tennessee went out there in 14.
Yeah, I think it was.
Chase was a
Longer
great
than-
producer, lined up an Oklahoma guest, a guy named Merv.
Merv
I hope,
Johnson.
I hope Merv is still kicking.
I think it was Merv Johnson from Oklahoma.
If you had a list of 1,000 things that Merv did not want to do that day, the Big Joe and Greg Pogue show, produced by Chase McCabe, was number 1 on this list.
He's 89 years young. He retired as the radio broadcaster in 2020.
And what was the question? I was like, hey, how's Oklahoma's defense going to stop Tennessee? And I know all these Oklahoma defensive players. And what did Merv say? He's like, are you talking about the defense? I was like, no, I'm talking about special teams.
I was so Ricky was my intern at the time, and I'm like so proud of myself that because I booked this. I'm like, I got the color analyst.
Right.
Like this guy is a supposed legend and everything. And on the first question, it just you just see my head drop behind the glass, and everybody just going, "Oh no!"
Oh, that was amazing. We have a nice crowd here today at Tennessee Brew Works. This lady handed me this note and says, "This Dr. Crane, listen to this." She says, "This season, I have a brother that had to take his artificial leg off because Mississippi State were pounding so hard in the bleachers, it was vibrating his leg."
Oh wow, that's something.
Now, Dr. Crane, was that you down there doing that?
Not that short.
I have a brother.
I'm not that.
Thank you for this, ma'am. Well, that's very interesting.
I don't know
That's
how
a
to
lot
take
it
that.
gets.
I really don't know how to take that. That's crazy. I
The
mean,
crowd was so loud; they were doing the cowbells and pounding their feet on the bleachers that his artificial leg fell off. Basically,
Hey, Merv Johnson played football at Missouri. I just noticed that.
so why do we have him on for Oklahoma?
Well, he did something in Oklahoma too.
What? Not know the team? He's like, well, that team rolling in Knoxville, Barry Switzer, that's a good team. You got to watch out for Jamel Holloway running the wishbone. Murph, what year are we talking about? I don't know, mid-60s. I don't know. God, it was.
They're going to come out in the wing team.
They're going to arrive tomorrow. They're going by train. All right, thanks, Murph. Oh, my gosh. Good times.
I was so defeated.
God, you were.
And you and Greg were like, hey, it's okay. It happened.
It does happen. Oh, Merv.
Oh, that was good. 615-737-1025. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is. It's celebrity birthdays. Everybody's favorite. It's Chase and Big Joe, 1025 The Game.
All right, guys, Big Joe here. And I tell you all the time that you deserve the best in life, and where you live should be the absolute best. At Reunion Township on 109, that is the best. Resort-style living with the luxury you deserve. Nestled perfectly between Mount Juliet and Lebanon. I can't wait for you to see this. Reunion Township on 109 has 1, 2, and 3 spacious bedroom apartment homes, complete with attached garages, state-of-the-art living, and everything you need and amenities out of this world. The website, reuniontownship.com, reuniontownship.com, and you can get 2 months free when you lease. Listen, 2 months free, resort-style living, quiet, spacious, and again, the luxury you absolutely deserve. Look, your job is hectic. Your life could be crazy and stressful. Where you live should be perfect. At Reunion Township at 109, that is the best. Again, the website, reuniontownship.com. That's reuniontownship.com. Welcome home.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 the game on this Tuesday. Predators coming up tonight. Again, note the time difference. We'll have pregame at 5:45. The puck drop just after 6:45 because the NHL will have all 16 or all 32 teams in action tonight. 16 games total. They have staggered start time. So the Predators in Tampa Bay starting at 6:45 tonight. And you can hear that right here with Max Hers having pregame for you at 5:45, and then Pete Weber and Jay Moore on the call. So looking forward to that. With that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
All right. First on the list we have here, it is honoring the nation's first responders day. Shout out to our first responders.
Thank you.
International Animation Day. So shout out to all those that like to draw all that stuff. National Chocolate Day is today. Love some chocolate. National Internal Medicine
Did I
Day.
just hear David James yell when you said chocolate?
He did. He yelled for chocolate. So
Okay.
whatever that may
Easy,
be for
David.
him. I know,
Easy,
right?
David.
Let's see. Plush Animal Lovers Day. So if you like animals or chocolate animals, one of the two.
Good.
Separation of Church
Not
and
sure what
State
that-
Day. So there's that. St. Jude's Feast Day is today. Statue of Liberty Dedication Day.
Nice.
Vote Early Day. And then last but not least, Wild Foods Day. So
Nice.
there you go.
Wild. Hey, when are you going to bring some of your pizza back in?
After my event this past Friday, or this upcoming Friday, excuse me.
Tired of asking, man. Your pizza's really good.
Yeah,
it is.
I appreciate it.
All right, time for celebrity birthdays. You have to get these within two. Chase McCabe's on like a 92% winning percentage. So, Dr. Crane, you got to get going, brother. All right, Chase, you go first. Our first birthday, Bernie Ecclestone. He is a leading impresario in F1 racing. How old is Bernie today? Evidently, Bernie's pretty famous.
I don't know who that is, and I probably should. 72.
63.
95.
There you go.
Dr. Crane, you're up next. Lenny Wilkins, Hall of Fame basketball coach, won a championship with the Seattle Supersonics.
73.
64.
88. Chase, you're up next. Caitlyn Jenner.
63.
66.
76. Dr. Crane, you're up next. Steve
How old?
Atwater.
Never mind.
Steve, don't do it, Chase. Steve Atwater, Dr. Crane. Broncos safety.
Steve Atwater is, I'm going to go 58.
64.
59. Dr. Crane's on the board. I bet he laid out Derek Mason a time or two. Chase, you're up. Terrell Davis.
57.
54.
53. Dr. Crane's up 2-0. Chase, you get to go. Annie Potts from Ghostbusters. What did she famously say in Ghostbusters?
We got one. 72.
80.
73. It's 2-1, Dr. Crane. Dr. Crane, you go. Andy Richter from the Conan O'Brien Show.
Let's go 39.
He controls the universe. 57.
59. We're tied at 2. Chase, you get to go. A girl I used to date a long time ago. She didn't know it, though. Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. 62.
70.
58. Dr. Crane, you go. Your favorite artist, Brad Paisley, Nashville guy.
Brad Paisley is 57.
52.
53. Chase is in the lead, 3-2. Chase, you go now. Joaquin Phoenix.
57.
49.
51. It's tied at 3. I'm liking this. Desmond Child lives here in Nashville and Brentwood, wrote all the Bon Jovi songs, a lot of Ricky Martin songs. One of the best songwriters ever lives here in Nashville. Desmond Child, Chase, you go.
58.
67.
72. Down to the last 2. Dr. Crane, you go. So you're telling me there's a chance Lauren Hawley from Dumb and Dumber.
I'm going to go with 63.
Also on NCIS. 57.
62. 4-3. Our last birthday. Dr. Crane, you're on top. Chase, you get to go. How old is Bill Gates?
Ooh. 74.
73.
Oh, he is 69,
Nice.
which means Dr. Crane, you won today, buddy. 4-3.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to collect my sticker at the front desk.
Proud of you. You've won once in the last 18 games.
I think I've won twice in the last 2 weeks.
He's done better than that. He's been fine.
No, according to my stat crew.
Well,
Get a new stat crew.
they're rarely right.
They're very
Appreciate Tennessee Brew Works for having us here today. That is going to do it for us.
As we live review show to our guys out there, if you are struggling, I ask you please do one thing. Please talk to somebody. Let somebody know what's going on in your life. Talking to somebody changed my life. It could change yours on your cell phone. You can dial quickly 988. Somebody's always there to talk to you. We have great information on theGameNashville.com on the Chase and Big Joe show for Unity Psychiatric Care to get you private, secure, confidential help. We say all the time, I need you here. I need you. Our world is a better place because you are here. You have so much to be thankful for. Your journey is beautiful. Please understand that and know that we love you. And more importantly, more than anything else in this world, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD is coming up next right here on 102.5 The Game.